We always like to try and get some energy conservation tips from our friends at Greenville Utilities. So we turn to our friend Andy Yuckham. Andy, how you doing?
Hey Steve, good to see you.
I appreciate you coming out today and help us out once again with some energy conservation tips. And first of all, explain to folks what it is that you do for GUC.
I'm the Energy Services Supervisor. We're a 4-person department that exists to help our customers lower their energy costs. Water cost.
So pretty much this is just a typical day for you then?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's always good to see that, because you get folks that get their energy bills and they say, I want to save money and why can't they show me? But that's exactly what you're here for.
That's what we exist. Our department is there to help customers with energy and water conservation.
Okay. Now today we wanted to talk about temperatures getting colder. How do we heat our houses more efficiently, lower those energy bills?
Well, since we're here, the first segment here, we're going to talk a little about gas logs. That they exist really as a decoration, the rating systems, but we know they throw some heat. Well, I want to show you how to determine how much it does use, how you can check your own unit, and even calculate the cost for yourself to see what does it cost to run that gas log, and is it efficient heat? Okay,
now when you're talking calculations, keep me in mind, I'm not so good with math. So you got easy calculations?
Absolutely, these will be very easy. We'll have a real quick science lesson just about the good old British thermal unit, the BTU.
Okay.
And we also want to relate this to how you're billed from Greenville Utilities. When you see a unit of gas on your bill, I want you to see what that means and how it tells you how long you can run that gas log for how much money.
Okay, well, let's take a look here at the gas log then. How do I tell from this gas log?
Well, this is an actual masonry fireplace. By the way, it's rare in this day and age. Most fireplaces now have our metal item that have a little door under here. You have to access the door to get to the identification plate. This one is just a masonry fireplace, so we find the identification plate over here. We had to clean it off because it's been under ashes and soot for quite a while. But what we're looking for on a gas unit, I guess, is simply the B2 per hour input. And it'll be on that data plate. It's required by law to be there. Now on this one, the B2 per hour input right here shows B2 per hour rating.
Okay.
75,000 B2 per hour input right there.
Okay.
That's all we need to know when we're trying to determine energy use. That's all we need to know on this unit, just that one number.
So 75,000 BTU British thermal units?
Input, meaning that's how much gas is going in to be burned.
Okay.
Okay. The output won't be rated. Now, your gas furnace or your gas packaging will have an output rating too, which means it tells you how much is being wasted. It gives you kind of an efficiency rating. Okay. These won't, because these aren't designed as a heating appliance, number one. They're designed as a decoration. But we know they give some heat, and we're going to explain how to do that safely.
Okay. How do we do that?
Okay. Well, one is, anytime we're burning gas in a home, we need to vent it.
Right.
Okay. There are some unvented gas logs that, used sparingly, can be okay, and they have a higher, say, combustion efficiency, but they also create tremendous amounts of moisture. Every time you burn, let's start with that BTU again. When you have 1 unit of gas on your bill, and the good old British thermal unit, think of a wooden kitchen match. If you burned away a wooden kitchen match, that's about a BTU of heat.
Okay.
So on your GUC bill, when you see just, say, 1 unit of gas on your bill, that represents the same amount of heat as 100,000 wooden kitchen matches, 100,000 BTUs.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, if this data plate would have said 100,000, that means you could burn that for 1 hour for that 1 unit of gas, which is about $1.30.
Okay.
That varies, probably right now about $1.30.
Okay.
So if that had said 50,000 BTUs on that data plate, we take that 50, divide in that 100,000 again, you could burn it for 2 hours for that same amount of money. So it tells you what it costs to run it. Okay. But when you're burning a gas log like this, most time we're going to crack the damper to amount just to try to get rid of the byproducts of combustion. And you can adjust for that by monitoring things like the moisture level in the house, the relative humidity in those items, and certainly a carbon monoxide detector is helpful anytime there's a gas appliance being burned in the home. Okay, so it's helpful to have that. Now again, a lot of gas logs are rated. You hear 2 different categories: one being yellow flame, one being blue flame.
Okay.
Well, this happens to be a blue flame unit, and it means it has a higher combustion efficiency, but maybe not that big puffy yellow flame. Now, most of the pure, what we call yellow flame gas logs, are in behind sealed glass doors. And you see these in new homes.
I've seen those before.
Okay, those are behind sealed glass doors. They're safer that way. That means they are totally 100% vented. You don't get as much heat in the house, but they're safer, because when you burn gas and it's a yellow flame, it's in complete combustion.
Okay.
Look at almost every gas company's logo in the country, a little blue flame.
It's a blue flame.
Blue flame. Okay. You ever had a little propane, Bernzomatic torch, or a little propane torch you have around the house for soldering?
Absolutely.
You always adjust that little knob till you see a
blue flame.
There you go. That's close to, that's near complete combustion at that point, so you're getting the most heat value for the amount of gas you're burning. Okay.
Okay. Now, in those enclosed flames or in fireplaces as well, is it pretty easy to find that plate like you were just showing?
Well, this one here it was under a pile of soot. Hadn't been looked at in quite a while because we had to find that one, right?
Right.
Okay. But in most of the gas logs, especially the ones behind the glass doors, there's a little panel at the bottom that you see at the panel. You just pop that panel off. That's where your controls are, or the panel might just fold down. That's where your control knob and that'll be. That data plate will be there. It'll be a metal plate like we saw there, attached to a chain. So and it won't be under soot under there because this must have been burning wood at occasional too, and some of the ashes are still in there. Okay, but most of them that'd be clean and not with any soot from a wood burning fireplace. So, and in the glass door type, that will be in that panel underneath the main gas log, underneath it.
So for peak energy efficiency, you say this is really more for show than for heat. But I know when I used to have a gas log like this in my house, you could turn it on for a couple of minutes, boom, it heats up the whole room.
Yeah, absolutely. We know they give heat, good heat. It just keep in mind that a lot of it goes up the chimney. So is it really efficient heat? The answer is no. There's two groups. There's a group called AGA, the American Gas Association, and a group called GAMA, the Gas Appliance Manufacturers Association. They're the ones who rate all gas appliances. This is not rated as a heat-producing appliance. It's rated as a decoration, a decorative appliance. So we know they give some heat. The question is, do you want to heat your home with it? And the answer is no. You don't want to heat your home with it, but it is a great supplemental heat. But how much does that cost? That's what we want to teach you to understand how you configure it yourself, and I'm going to give you the formula how to calculate. Real simple, like we mentioned a moment ago. That's this one. It was a 75,000 BTU input. Let's use another example. Let's say, remember, on your bill, 1 unit of gas is 100,000 BTU. That's called a therm.
Okay.
Okay. That therm represents, again, burning 100,000 wooden kitchen matches. Let's say the unit had a 33,000 BTU rating.
Okay.
That means you could burn that for 3 hours, because 33,000 into 100 is roughly 3.
Right.
So you could burn it for 3 hours for that amount of money. So if gas would say, let's say $1.20 a therm, divide out by 3, and we're at 40 cents an hour to run it. And we'll show that formula, how easy it is to figure. So at 40 cents an hour, is that expensive? It would be if you heated your home with it that way. But let's say an hour or so in the evening, 4 or 5 times in the evening, that's probably cheap entertainment.
And also it would heat this one room very well,
absolutely.
but not the whole house.
Right.
Okay, so I guess we could almost break down your heaters then into 2 categories. One, very short-term, small space heaters, which I guess this could qualify
yes.
for. And the other would be the big mama that heats the whole house.
The central systems. We'll
Okay,
cover
so
those too.
we'll try and keep those in mind as we go through
Great,
this.
super.
Then. Okay, we got other stuff to look at too, right?
So electric and other types of gas and water conservation items. So quite a few things.
Let's go see if we can find one of those other heaters.
Okay.
All right.